Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to work on 3 pairs of channel locks, and really there's nothing wrong. I'm just going to clean these up, these faces. I think I'm just going to blue them, just because I got some leftover bluing I want to use. And then a couple of these definitely we're using mechanic. They're not bent, they're in really decent shape. This one's rusted. It's a 440, 430, 420, and I think I got a quarter in one of them. I've got maybe $1 in each of the other. I've got less than $3 in these, probably, and I'm pretty sure I got less than that. I don't remember how I got them, but I'm just going to take it apart, clean them up real good, blue the wire wheel them, and then clean them, and then blue them. The teeth are in real good shape, all of them. They have been used, I have to admit to that, but I'm just going to bring them back to a good usable condition. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I have plenty. I'll just add them to what I got. I might, the smaller ones, actually this one I may take to work. I have a diamond alloy. I think it's this size, with 12-inch, yeah. And I use these to take a lot of the Sloan flush valves apart. If you guys don't know, if you've been into a restaurant or a commercial building and that has a commercial toilet in it, normally around this part of the country it's got Sloan flush valves on it. That's what the top cap is. And anyways, this is the right size for that. Anyways, let's take it apart and clean them and see what we got. That's already a little loose. A lot of times you got a 50-50 chance on these coming apart. And I don't have a tap. I have yet to find a tap to fit these screws. So I use threads to clean them up, and then when I'm done, when I put it together, I'll peen the threads over so it doesn't come loose or Loctite. Yeah, they needed cleaned. Usually you can tell if like a plumber or something uses them, because I have to sanitize mine, clean mine every once in a while because they smell like a sewer. Yeah, so they don't have a smell to it. Sometimes they do, and when they do, you don't like holding them in your hand very long. Trust me. All right, set that aside. Damn, that one's real loose. Now it's stiff. That's well, you don't need to watch me take these apart. Let me finish getting these apart. Let's see, before I do that, let's see how hard this one's going to be. This one's a little tough. This one's a little tight. I'll get it apart, and then we'll go to the wire wheel. wire wheeled them and look good. They're not bad. Now I'm going to use a Dremel with a fiber wheel on it just to touch them up a little bit. That's spots that the wire wheel can't get, the big wheel, so just get it with this. Little bit of rust down in these spots right here where I can't get. And then there's the spots there in the corner. I'll just use a small fine wheel to do that. This one almost had no rust on it. Not down in here anyways. All right, finish up, be back. All right, before we go any further, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna blue them, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean the handles before I clean the metal. Man, look how quick it turns blue. I do like the chemical that they use. This stuff is awesome stuff. It's very, very durable. I like it. Some people say it's like Dip It. It ain't not even close. I will not use the Dip It stuff. I'll use heat shrink tubing before I use Dip It. I wish Channellock would sell their product outside the factory to where we could use it, because this stuff is very durable, awesome stuff. Look at the difference. Look how quick. I think these are going to be green. Find out in a second. These sunlight got to them. You can tell when they start turning greenish. They're one, they're old, and two, they've been used in sunlight. I wonder, just out of curiosity, what will a steel brush do to this? Nah. Just thought maybe. It scratches a little bit of color back into it. And see, my tools, they don't get this gummed up. I don't let mine, when I'm done using my tools, I wipe them down, clean them off. It's just, especially if I'm using it around plumbing, it usually involves, if there's turds or piss lying around, I clean them off. And don't mean to be disrespectful or anything, but that's the way it is. You're working on a toilet, and I was so mad last week. Oh my God. I went to HR. I told them we had to have a class and teach people how to use the bathroom. Teach them to flush. Oh my God, they're nasty. It is gross. I mean, if they got an issue, I think they do that here because they don't do it at home or here. They do it at work, so they don't make that kind of mess at home. Those of you that have done plumbing in your life will understand what I mean. I had to pull 4 toilets last week. 4. 2 in one day. And one, I had to use a plunger to break the material up just so it'd go down the toilet. Oh. I was so frustrated with people. And still, I have a 5/8 cable machine, about 100 foot of cable on it, and it's a big machine. I can't remember which Kohler machine it is, but it's big. This machine's so big it takes 2 of us to pick it up, put it on the back of a pickup truck. So it's not, we don't move it. It's got wheels on it, and we just move it around in the building. We don't take it anywhere because I think it's so huge. Anyways, I could not unblock the line. We had to call an outside source to come in with a camera so we could see what's causing our problem. And our facility has these disposable, or these throwaway, they're not disposable, they're not flushable, they're disposable, and you can, cloths, like little washcloths, and oh my God, people will fill the toilet with them. Anyways, those of you who've done plumbing will understand my concern, my gripe. All right, guys, don't know what happened. Camera died, battery, I don't know where I'm at. But anyways, kind of 3 different tints there. I got a dark or brighter blue, kind of aqua, and this is in between. Hope you can see it. I think this one sat out in the weather for a while. That's all right. Now I'll clean the metal off and get them prepped and ready to blue. And I'll blue one real quick and show you what it turns out to. I'll be right back. If anybody wants to know, I clean the metal with carburetor cleaner, and you can use naphtha. I use carburetor cleaner because that's what I got. I use it. I do have some naphtha, and I just forget I have it. I keep carburetor cleaner on my bench, so that's what I use. And what you're doing is you're cleaning to get that black off. Anywhere where there's any residue, the cleaner you can get the metal. Seems like the better the bluing takes. I don't know that for sure. It just seems that way to me. I like the cold bluing. It works really well. And then after I cold blue them, I turn around and I put some oil on them and set them outside in the heat, and it seems to work. The oil darkens it a little more. right, be right back. All right, guys. Start off with the 430. I use the same brush. I use a paintbrush. I reuse the same brush over and over. I clean it with carburetor cleaner when I do my bluing. These ought to turn out pretty good. And I'm probably going to do 2 coats, only because I'll more than likely miss a spot since I've got so many of them here. I'm going to try to, I don't know how, I may do them all, try to do them all in one time, but I'm going to have a hard time 60 seconds and wiping them down, because you're only supposed to let this stuff set for 60 seconds and then wipe dry and then start polishing with 4/0 steel wool. I'm going to use a brass brush on the teeth, which that's what I normally do. Stuff works pretty good. I like it. I don't know how these came from the factory. I don't know. One was rusted pretty bad, so I don't think I've ever owned a brand new pair. Just to let you know. I think that somebody may have given me one for Christmas or something, but I've never owned a brand new pair. Okay, let it dry for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to wipe them dry. Well, here, I'll just stay on the. I'll use this little brass. I need to get me a new brass brush. This brass brush is about gone, and I don't think. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not using that anymore. I got a real nice one here. I was about to say I don't think I have any, but I did. Oh man, I may not do 2 coats on this. This took good. You're supposed to wipe dry. You have spots where you're going to have an issue where you can't get like the teeth. You just do the best you can. And see, I missed a spot. All right. You're going to look at the difference. Hurry up and get this done. We're supposed to meet some people. I don't know what we're doing. Anyways, I got to be somewhere in about an hour. My wife, she'll make plans and not tell me until she feels like it. All right, now this is supposed to be 4/0 steel wool. I'm running out of 4/0 steel wool, so I'm just using what I got left. See, that's the wet that's down inside. Darn it. Let's do this again now. There we go. That's nice. That's actually going to turn out really nice. Hope they all turn out like this. Now, just brush the teeth. That's it. Check that out. That's the one that I just polished, and that's the other half that I haven't done anything to. Now, let me see if I have to wipe the inside of this hole here. I'm not even going to do 2 coats. Once I put the oil on it, set it outside, it's like 102 or 3 outside today, so setting it on that metal's got to be about 140, and this metal here will draw heat too. And you don't have to polish this very long. It don't take very, look at that. It doesn't take but a few passes and you get a sheen. Now, you see how the teeth are discolored? I hope that comes up on camera. Now watch this. Not a lot of pressure. Now, how's that look? Pretty good. Man, that's gonna be nice. See what I got? And see the difference? Now, that should darken some more. Should darken more when I put the oil on it. Sorry, I'm paying attention to what I'm doing here. I stopped in mid-sentence because I just realized I didn't do the other half of that one tool. It's all right, nobody died from it, so we're okay. Learned a long time ago, mistakes don't matter, not unless someone's life depends on it. Screw up all day long, it don't hurt a thing. Unless someone's life depends on it. Man, this is turning. These are taking color really good. I'm impressed with the color on this. Sometimes you do this and the metal doesn't take very good, but that could be because fingerprints, body oils, just cleaning oils, didn't get the finish roughed up enough. I don't care. I don't have much of anything in these tools, so make sure I cover everything. I think I did. All right, let me wipe these down and then come back, finish them up. Or I just realized I laid them right in, look at that. I laid it right in the fibers of the, it ain't gonna hurt nothing, but still, I should have paid attention to what I was doing. I'm trying to hurry up, and that's what I get for hurrying. I'll come back in just a little bit after I get them coated, and then we'll coat them with some oil. Before I go, I better show you. I'm gonna do, I didn't do this half earlier. I want to show you what I'm gonna do on getting the grooves. I'm going to use the brush there too. It lightens it a little bit, but not bad. If you don't like it, you can always, if you don't like the color, you can always put some more bluing on it. Really polishing it more and more, going over it really doesn't. Once it gets to a certain point, it stops. Now, what I'm going to do here is, again, the teeth, just barely brush them over. See? Now, show you down inside the grooves. Now, show you the difference. Doesn't take much, barely any work. Okay? All right, let's finish up. I'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now what I'm going to do, 3-in-1 oil. I'm going to coat the metal with 3-in-1 oil, and then I'm going to set them outside in the sun. And I've tried with and without the oil. And yes, it is a clean brush. I have a bunch of these artist brush. I found them at a garage sale one time. But the oil, it darkens it. And when you, I think it evaporates, you know, I don't believe it's actually absorbing into the metal, but it definitely helps it. So that's what I do. Big Life at Lion's Head Restorations suggested this a long time ago to me. I didn't do it for a while, and then I just thought, hey, I'll try it, because I guess a friend of his does a lot of bluing weapons and things, so I thought, well, try it, and it seems to work very well. I would suggest, if you've done bluing, some cold bluing, and you want to try 2 items, identical items, and then set them out in the sun, let them bake. Like I said, right now my temperature outside is, I don't know, 102, 103, something like that. It's like anything else. You leave anything in the sun, it'll get hot. I'm pretty sure it helps. So that's what I'm doing. This pair, I think it sat in the sun more than the others. I know plumber friends of mine, you look on their dash and there's probably a toolbox full of tools on top up there. So more than likely that's what this is. It was on a jobber truck somewhere. Uh-oh, all the fibers on the, it's falling out. Anyways, most of your trade guys, they have, if you look in their trucks, they got tools everywhere. I know a jobber, he had dents all in his truck, but the dents weren't from the outside going in, they were from the inside going out. Every time he rounded the corner back of his van, say truck, it was a van, stuff rolled around, he had dents. He had some big dents pushing out. So like you said, you know, his company would always rush, 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 go from one job to the next. You ain't got time. Go to the job, go to the job. Got to the point where he never cleaned his truck. I was paying attention to what I was doing. I wasn't even looking at the camera. I hope I got all this in the camera. Might throw this brush away. Alright guys, that's it. I'm going to set them out in the sun, let them get good and hot. Probably leave them all day today and probably half a day tomorrow. I got to do a job in the morning. I got a day off, but I still got a job to do. Anyways, I'll do a job in the morning and then come back and see what they look like. Alright ladies and gentlemen, I brought these in from outside. You can still see a little bit of oil. If you can see, I hope the camera picks it up in the slots. I'm gonna leave it like that. The rest of it, they sat outside for a day and a half. In about, I mean, last night I think the temperature got down to 80, and then in the sunlight, I actually set them out in the sun. I stood them up, got a piece of board to stand them up, and heat index was like 114. I think the actual air temperature was 105 yesterday. But I set it on this metal plate, and I gotta remember to see how hot that thing gets. But it's so hot you can't hold it. So just sitting there baking in the sun, and I think that 3-in-1, this 3-in-1 oil, I think it darkens it. I want to try some motor oil, some old used motor oil, and see if that makes a difference. I've tried some other lighters, like some 020 synthetic, some other types of oils. I like the household oil, the 3-in-1, but I am going to try some waste oil just to see how that does. But man, the black on this, look at that. I hope it comes out on camera, but it is dark. That is some good color. Here I got a black handled screwdriver. I mean, that turns out really, really good. That cold bluing and then putting it in the oil and then setting them out in the sun, it seems to do a really good job. I'm happy with what I've done. Now I gotta remember which one's which and put them back together. That's why it's upside down. Okay. That fiber off of that stupid painter's brush. Alright. Now, I just cleaned these up. Didn't do a whole lot except a little wire wheel. So I'm going to put this. Let's see. That should bite like so. Now if I can get this started without a problem, and of course I put my 9/16 up. Hang on, I'll be right back. I put my wrench up. I knew I was going to need it. I don't know why I put it up. Just habit, I guess. I always put my tools up. The only ones I don't put up are the ones sitting on my bench. Everything else has a place. A little tight right there. So what I'm going to do is set them about where I want, and then I will I will peen them over. I was looking to make sure I had the right ones in the right spot. Okay, where are you going? Come here. Fit. There it is. I didn't do any. I should have probably blued these. I just used the fiber wheel on these and cleaned them up. They may start if these little nuts and bolts start rusting, I will come back and take them apart and clean them again. Probably won't matter though. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these here or take them to work. If I take them to work, they'll wind up be used in plumbing. Find the right spot that I like, right there. Perfect. Oh, shoot. Well, do is take you apart. I have a hard time getting this one back together, I bet you. I have had really good luck with these because sometimes these don't go back together. These nut and bolts do not go back together the way you want them to. Yep, told you. And somebody will say, well, take them and round them off a little bit. Yeah, well, I've done that before too, and that didn't work. I may have to put this nut in the vise or vice grips to hold it to get it started. Huh. All right, well, it's already starting crooked. Let me work with this a little bit. We'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I peened the screw over, or the top of the screw. I thought about it. I probably could have used Loctite, would have been just fine, but oh well, it's what I did. These are 420s, really good shape, not pitted real bad. The handles, you can tell this one was used, and this is the one I think it was sat in dash or in the sun. This one sat in the bed of a truck or something because it's faded. Now the 430s, these probably are brand new. They're in really good shape. You can see the oil, if you can see it on the back side, it's oozing out of those channels, which I don't care about that. That's not going to hurt anything. And if you look real close, these are really, metal-wise, the condition, the jaws, the teeth, everything are in almost perfect condition. There's a little bit of dings right here, but that could have been dropped. I don't think anybody used this for a hammer, but there's hair from that brush again. Anyways, really good shape. And then this one, the 440, this one is, it's got, if you can see the metal's pitted a little bit in places. This one wasn't as used, well taken care of. This side's not bad. So more than likely, this sat in some water like this because this side is pitted. Compared to this, there's almost no pitting. But I got 3 of them, and I literally got less than, I know I got less than $5 in these. And more than likely, I got less than $3. So, and I went online and looked them up just a few minutes ago, anywhere from $51 to $73 in a set. And it's 9, 10, and 12 inch. And I think they call this 9.5. This is 10, and this is 12. But I got 3 very good tools, and I probably could have used them the way they were. This one was rusted pretty bad, but the thing about it is, if I take these to work, my tools have to be as clean as possible in certain areas that I work. I can't, dust has to be down to a very, very minimum. And when I work on something, I have to control the environment. And everything from the air, dust, to the water, I have to control the environment. And so I take my tools in that are clean, and a lot of times, especially if I'm working on plumbing, I sanitize my tools when I come out. If you guys ever worked on commercial toilets, you'll understand what I'm talking about, because people, they do things in a business that they do not do at home most of the time. Some of these people out here are just freaking nasty. But I have to keep my tools clean, and those of you, especially have done plumbing, commercial plumbing, will understand what I'm talking about. But more than likely, these will wind up going to work. I have a couple of diamond alloy that I like. I have a 440 or 420 at work. I like it. I need to clean it up though. It's starting, the teeth and everything, I probably need to sharpen them. They're starting to get dull. You use these tools enough, especially the toolbox I have. One of my toolboxes has been with me at the facility now for about 32 years. So a lot of the tools in there are at least that old. And some of them are older than that, because I've been exchanging some of the wore out tools for newer tools. My facility does buy tools for us if we want them. The problem is they'll buy cheap, and I would rather buy better quality. And I can take it when I'm ready to go. I'm taking all 3 toolboxes, and I've probably got $8,000–9,000 worth of tools at the facility I work at, including all the DeWalt battery operated tools. They're all mine, everything. The facility doesn't own any of my tools. They just own the boxes. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Would you have spent the time? I spent about 45 minutes cleaning these up, bringing them back to a good usable condition. Not saying they weren't usable before, I just didn't, the rust, they'll last longer now. I gave them a second life compared to what they were, especially the one that was rusted really bad. The rust will just get worse. So this will help them last longer. You can paint them for you guys that don't want to do cold bluing, which I don't understand why you wouldn't, because it's so simple. You can paint these. I've painted a couple of them, that hammer gray and hammer black. It works fine. It doesn't last as long as the bluing. You still got to clean them, wire brush them, get them prepped for paint. So if you're going to go that far, you might as well blue them. The bluing for me looks pretty good, and it seems to last longer. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm talking too much. Tell me what you think. Subscribe if you like. Y'all have a good day now.